Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Casual Weebs podcast, episode 20. Listen, massive episode today. We have sleepers to talk about, amazing anime to talk about, the Crunchyroll drama to talk about. I don't know if you know about that one, Blake, but there is drama.
Ooh.
There is tea to be spilled. There's so much to go over. Absolutely so much to go over. Before we do, let's take a little blast from the past. Let's go back to episode 10 of the Casual Weebs podcast. Let's just check out this little clip. Welcome back to episode 10 of the Casual Weebs podcast. Listen, deep breath. Okay, I'm going to try to get through this intro as clean and fast as possible because this is seriously our biggest episode yet. It is huge, so bear with me here for this couple of seconds. So, first of all, episode 10, double digits, the big 1-0. That is absolutely awesome. It does not feel like we're already 10 episodes in. This has been absolutely flying by. It has been so much fun, and we are glad you guys are enjoying it. Not only the big 1-0, but tack an extra 0 onto that bitch, because thank you guys for 100 subscribers. That is absolutely insane.
Oh,
Now, as you guys can see, nothing has changed. Every episode we do is a massive goddamn episode. But in episode 10,
yeah.
we thanked everybody, not only for double digits, for going to episode 10, it's great, but also for 100 subscribers. Here we are in episode 20, saying thank you for 200 subscribers. That is so fucking weird of a coincidence, but I think it is
sick.
hilarious. Seriously, guys, thank you. It is absolutely insane. The support we're getting each and every week is crazy. We are glad you guys are enjoying it, and we're glad you guys love talking about anime as well. This shit is amazing, so more to come. So it's been a blast, and again, we always appreciate the kind comments that we get from you guys. They're the best. I was sending some to Blake earlier. You guys are seriously awesome. So listen, we have sleepers to talk about today as a thank you. I also dropped a video which I talked about these sleepers, so if you saw that video, you kind of already know. But listen, before we get into all that, I feel like we got to talk about the Crunchyroll drama. Do you know about this?
I feel like I seen something on my doom scroll over the weekend, but no, I don't know what you're talking about.
So I thought that Crunchyroll was looking a little weird. I was like, what's going on? Why does it not look right? And then it hit me. What happened is that Kaiju dropped a new episode. I was like, what's going on with this new episode? It's episode 12. I'm like, didn't they already have that? So, what's the first thing you're going to do when you see something weird? I went to the comment section. There's no comment section.
Oh yeah, they took the comments away.
They also took away what I thought was weird and that I didn't notice before, but I knew something was off, was they got rid of the reviews, like the written reviews. It's like, why? That was the one thing that I always really hyped up about Crunchyroll.
I did see that actually. I didn't really read into it too much. But I guess people were like review bombing in anime, which I didn't see it, so I didn't know if it was like good or bad. And then there was another instance where they felt like they should take action, and then they were like, yeah, no reviews, no comments.
So one anime got review bombed, so they've ruined it for the entire platform.
Yeah, and I hadn't even heard of it. Like, it wasn't like a major anime that was getting like dragged for no reason or something.
Why not
But
just get rid of the reviews that are bad or whatever, or whatever it was? Because
that's what I'm saying.
listen, the raid reviews were perfect. They were perfect, but sometimes the synopses of some of these animes are awful, and the user ones are better that are in the reviews. I think the reviews have made it really, really helpful for people like me who are degenerates just stalking the release calendar. And looking at all the new animes that are dropping and kind of like, oh, what's this one? I always go to the written reviews. That's what helps me kind of figure out, do I even bother trying this anime? What is it kind of about? Is this something that I'm going to like or not like? Like, it's a massive key piece. And then the comment section. I mean, where's Early Gang going to hang out? When you're waiting for that episode to drop and you're there in the first
Right?
hour, I got to talk to the boys. They're not there anymore. What about the jokes? Some people would make some funny fucking jokes in the comment sections about some parts
Hell
of the
yeah.
anime. Like, the comment section was great because it felt like you were hanging out with your friends and just watching the anime together. And it was amazing. It helped with great questions and stuff like that. And it's gone now. That's one thing I always told people. I'm like, yo, Crunchyroll's the best because they have this, and every streaming service should have it. And if you're wondering, so the whole thing was about protecting the community and spoilers. But the thing is, if someone dropped a spoiler on an anime, you can report it as a spoiler, and it covers it up, and then you have to click it to see it. So it really wasn't a problem. I probably only saw one spoiler ever, and I'm always in the comment section. It really isn't a thing. Some people just even put their comment as a spoiler, just to mess with people. To say it's a spoiler, so you have to click on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be something crazy, and it's not. It's like, I got you. But yeah, I think that was the dumbest thing Crunchyroll could have done. And listen, I did drop a video talking about how Hulu is coming to overtake Crunchyroll, and I mean, Hulu's been doing some really good things lately, dropping some amazing animes, and now Crunchyroll is doing something that they shouldn't. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if the shoe fits, then it's fucking Cinderella. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like I get like where they're coming from, and we all know about like being toxic online and like talking shit and all that, and I'm sure we're all guilty of it to some degree, but like I didn't see what anime got like review bombed it, and like I mean you and I have been through the list a few times. Like if it had some popularity, I feel like we would know about it. So like
yeah.
I'm not sure what happened. And like we've seen some egregious stuff over the years, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not that deep. And then the common thing I think impacts the community because, like you said, you're hanging out or you're like making jokes or like people's reactions to the episode. Like,
Big thing on that topic. That's huge. Some of the VAs would come in and say thank you for like some good seasons and stuff like that. Like the VAs would talk to the community through the comment section. I've seen that multiple times. It is some of the coolest experiences ever.
yeah, I'm 100% with you. Or like you could read like the first episode, check out some comments like, oh, this looks like trash or it's good or I read the manga and no. It's like, one, I think, yeah, you impact the community and you're not really protecting it because Crunchyroll is owned by Sony. So you could definitely pay somebody to moderate your like your comments and your you know what I mean? If somebody posts like a terrible review or whatever, I feel like that's just the nature of being an artist or being in business. But yeah, I feel like Crunchyroll could moderate comments or have like fucking two people go through and like whoever, reported comments or spoilers or whatever, you could take care of that without completely disabling everybody's ability to talk on that platform. Because you're right, that set them apart and I don't know. I think it's a poor reason, two instances. You know what I mean? It's probably not fair to everybody
Yeah,
else.
like the comment section was like if you watched on like mobile or PC, it was the greatest thing ever. Like I actually like didn't like watching on my TV for that exact reason because the comment section like was that big. It was that great. The only thing about the comment section I didn't like is the fucking people that would watch the subs and then for the first two episodes of the dubs be like, "Oh my god, the sub is so much better." It's like, "Oh my god, like fucking eat a sock, buddy." Like we get it. Why are you watching
Yeah.
both? That was the only thing about the comment section that I like didn't necessarily like. But other than that, like it was phenomenal. And like the thing about like online moderation, it's all free. I mean, most like Twitch moderators, it's free. Same with YouTube, they're doing it for free.
Yeah.
Discord, they're doing it for free. Like you can get to a point, like I forget what's the game. Is it CS:GO? Where like they have like that report system where if someone's cheating, it's the players who are going in reviewing it and making the decisions to ban the player or not. Like if you reach a certain level in that game, you have authority to then go in and start, dealing with that. So why not do that for people on Crunchyroll? Why not make it so if you have certain qualifications, you're eligible to either moderate or deal with the reportings. If someone gets
They
reported,
probably do.
check it out and
I
deal
would
with it.
imagine they do have moderators. They're too big of a company for them not to.
Yeah,
I feel like just with the nature of like where things are and like bullying online and shit, they have to have somebody like looking through the comments or dealing with what gets reported. So yeah, I would say that's probably a dumb move or like a not very well thought out action, just disabling comments. Hopefully they bring it back, but I didn't hear that they were. I didn't read that.
yeah. It's I don't know. I think that is one of the stupidest things I've
It's an L.
ever. Yo, if Hulu comes out of nowhere and it's just like, hey, comment section, bro. If Hulu's
Yeah,
just like,
right.
hey guys, look at the comment section we got. I'll be like, I'm done. I'm done. Canceling the subscription. We're going straight to Hulu. Dude, they got the sauce. I mean, it is what I've been binging shit. I'm not going to talk about it because we got too much. We don't have enough time today. We have too much stuff to get into. But now we got to talk about the sleepers. So listen, we're gonna be talking about some of them on this episode because I recommended both of them, to Blake. He ended up seeing the one that I really wanted him to see, and he loved it. So we're gonna be getting way into that this
God.
episode. But if you guys saw my video that I just posted today or Monday, whenever this comes out, you know that the three sleepers I have for the season that absolutely have the hooks in me is Wistoria, the Elusive Samurai, and why does nobody remember me in this world? Both of them are, I mean, all three of them are amazing. They're so good. The Why Does No One Remember Me has only had one episode, but it had a great first episode. For isekais, I think it's going to be really good. I mean, isekais are kind of hard to do at this point, and I feel like this one is off to a great start. But the Elusive Samurai, holy crap!
And
Wistoria as well. Both of them are phenomenal. So listen, I say actually, hear me out here. Let me know what you think. I think that we should talk about Failure Frame first because I feel like that's gonna be the shortest discussion.
All right, we're yeah.
The Elusive Samurai, Wistoria, and then Alya hides her feelings in Russian.
Perfect. Let's do it.
All right, Failure Frame. So what were you thinking about the second episode?
Like there were, I don't know if it's 23 or 25 minutes. Like I'm watching episode 2. Like we said, off to a good start, kind of a cool plot. Like can relate to the character's shitty situation. Like the way it would like pop in and like show you like glimpses of like, yeah, this could be really good. Like when he's fighting the like the soul reaper or whatever it's called.
I think it's a Soul Eater or something.
The soul eater, like the design was cool. Like the when the eyes open, it like fucking made me think of Elden Ring, like the madness eyes. Like that shit was cool. But then like some of this CGI was exactly what people tear up, and it's like, come on, man. Like some of it wasn't too bad, but I feel like people would probably drag it. So I'd like to see them do a little better, but I'm still with it. I thought through the first 2 episodes, it'll be interesting to see like now that he's on the surface, kind of where we're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we could rock with it for a couple more episodes, I'm interested to see where he goes because he did get pretty OP down there.
That's the thing. So there's some things that like I'm not like a fan of, and there's other things I actually really liked. So the things that I really liked was I liked the clash in personality. I liked how we have his younger self where he's got the shit kicked out of him by his parents. You know, he's like, I want to kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I will kill you one day. I don't care if I kill myself in the process. You know, you have that kid, that broken, torn up kid, and then you have that kid that was created when his aunt and uncle got him. And they raised him to be empathetic and be a good person. And he's like, that guy's done. I'm done playing that guy. I'm done pretending to be him. I'm this kid. I remember that now. Like that's the kid that's going to keep me alive here. I loved seeing that clash because he keeps saying that he's that old self again. But bullshit. Because every time you saw dead people, you're praying, you're showing respect. You know what I mean? Like your old self wouldn't have done that. He's selfish. He doesn't care. He has one goal in mind, and that's to kill. And that's what achieve his goals, what he wants, his desire. You know, you can still see how he's still empathetic, and they're gonna have the clash of the 2 different selves that he has, and kind of become a new person here in this world. So, along with that, I really like that ending scene where the souls came out and they're like, hey kid, I can't believe you tried to eat that flesh. Like, hey, great job kid. Hey, sorry if those rocks are cheap, you know, I'm sorry about that, but they're all yours, take them. You know, that scene with all those interactions were amazing. Actually, it was my favorite part of the episode.
Super good. Yeah, I'm glad you like that because like you would see stuff like that and I'm like, yeah, it was really cool, really well done. And the whole like trope of like, can he keep his humanity while still like getting revenge on the people that have fucked him over, I think is a cool trope. Like I can definitely rock with that that MC. And like he's smart, you know what I mean? He's not just like a brute strength type of dude, even though he's OP. He's got like weird shitty skills.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool seeing that scene and like how he beat the Soul Eater and then like kind of celebrating with everybody.
The way he did it too, though. The way he did it, he's like, gotcha, bitch.
I was like, oh shit, okay. Because like I don't know,
Yeah.
some of the CGI was like, this is bad. But yeah, I liked it. I'll definitely keep rocking with it for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, and like as I said, there's plenty to love. Like I liked the clash of personality. You were having some decent character development here. I liked that scene, and I also liked how the story is kind of adding a little bit of mystery. Like who are those people that are waiting outside for him? How do they know that it's coming out? Like what's going on with that?
Yeah,
we saw that where he's like, oh wait, here's the what is it, the maze or the ruins? I don't know. There it was very like ominous, or like it wasn't like really go into depth. It was that quick little scene. So it's like you got to imagine that's what episode 3 is going to open up with. And I feel like episode 3 is going to be a really defining moment for me because the CGI, the animation, it was rough in some spots. And also I don't know how I feel because it's an isekai, so it's typical. But like bro got OP quick. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, where do you go from here? Like, what is this going to be? And like, you have to be OP to like make it out of there because even that dark hero couldn't make it out. He died there. And it's like, and the goddess said that he was deemed to be the strongest of them all. So it's kind of like seeing where this goes is going to be very interesting. I'm right in the middle. I'm on the fence. We're going to really see episode 3, episode 4, where it goes.
A big thing for me is how they use like the classmates or the other supporting cast members. Yeah. Like I want to see the I keep forgetting what it is, like the dark hero. Mm-hmm. Like it'd be cool if they team up and help each other and like in some way. Like I get you want to get revenge. Yeah, but now I have a bad feeling they won't like develop or use the side characters the way they should because that could end up making for a more interesting dynamic. Because you're right, it is hard to do isekais, but like it has promise. There's a lot they could do with it, but yeah, I'm a little worried. You know what I mean? I'm on the fence though.
I agree with you though. I love them to shoot that big boulder and throw it right into the middle of the pond and just have everything go into chaos. I want the evil people, the douchebag nobles to team up with the goddess. I want that kid who's the dark hero to go off on his own. I want him to be the wild card. I want him to be like, fuck you all. You know what
Just
I mean?
straight chaos. That would be really
Yep.
cool.
I want the good people from the classroom, like that girl. I want her to be on his side. I want her to be like, yeah, screw this, and go with him. You know what I mean? I want it to split up
Yeah.
and kind of like get chaotic. I think that's going to be a ton of fun instead of having it
All
be
those
like good
plot
versus evil.
lines.
Yeah,
Yeah, all those plot lines could really be cool. And even if you only get whatever 12, 13 episodes out of it, you could have a lot of fun with that story. You know what I mean? You don't have to go crazy, but you could do a lot with it. I hope they just don't fumble that because you have like a decent cast, even if we haven't really explored them too much
and
yet.
that's what you need to carry because if it's a good story and it's like really entertaining, well then next season it's going to get renewed for next season and probably have more money in the budget for better animation and better CGI. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So that's
exactly.
not like a defining moment. My only worry is that some people are commenting and be like, "Yep, I read the manga and it's not going to be good." So I'm a little worried. I'm a little
Ooh.
worried. But it is what it is. And hey, dude, it's a stacked season. It really is. It's a stacked season. So if it goes under, I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, we'll survive, definitely.
The Elusive Samurai, dude, this anime.
I cannot tell you how fucking stoked I was. My jaw was on the floor multiple times through those first two episodes. Like, I feel like it's maybe not overdone, but like kind of tough to make like a feudal Japan
Mhm.
anime like exciting. Um, I was like blown away. They like set the cast up really good, and obviously Big Clover Works plug. Gorgeous. Like everything from the colors to the art, like the way they animate people when they're running, like all that shit is so cool to me. It like really helps immerse you in the story. But like, I think you said it before we started the pod too. Like it was a perfect way to bridge like old feudal Japan and like modern animation and a modern story, and like it just blends so well together. Perfect.
Yeah, dude, I was just scrolling on the release calendar. I saw it and I was like, okay, the Elusive Samurai sounds pretty good. That's a good name. Like that's a good name to really kind of get people attracted. Like the Elusive Samurai. Like okay, yeah, let's check this out. And I'm looking out. I was like, okay, all right, let's try out the first episode. Started watching. I'm like, dude, Blake would love this because it has that old style anime that's really good, but it's like brought back up. So it's kind of like it gives like newer people that taste of the older anime, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
and because like people are kind of scared with that, they're scared of going and watching Inuyasha and Yu Yu, and other animes like that because it's like, oh well, you watch it and then the animation's real bad, it's grainy and pixely, and it's like not that appealing, especially when you have animes like Wistoria and Demon Slayer just fucking dropping the budget. So it kind of gives them a taste of that, and it kind of has that feel, in my opinion, which I really like, and it's good for that, like you said, that old kind of essence. And they just did such a phenomenal job in multiple ways. So I fucking love the main character. I love the story. It's like Yona of the Dawn, but in my opinion, it just feels better. I actually didn't finish Yona of the Dawn because I just kind of got bored with it. This one, I don't think that's gonna be the case because like it actually has a ton of action. You know what I mean? Like we're seeing this kid who is like the greatest tag player in the world. This guy's got
Hell yeah.
maxed out elusiveness. He's just built different. Just a gift from the heavens. It's just absolutely insane. You see the way that he operates and he moves, and it's crazy. And then the way that they talk about that is even more fun. It's like, okay, well, kid, in 2 years you're gonna be a war hero, and the way you're gonna do it is you're gonna play tag. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to adapt war to fit your abilities, and I feel like that's gonna be insane. Especially because we got a taste of that in season 2 of how that's gonna look. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. And then you have the weird old dude, and he's kind of talking about it. He's like, look at that kid. That kid, he's the scariest person on the battlefield because he's loving it. He's dodging, he's doing all this stuff. Like those are like fatal opportunities that you're giving that guy. Like you're putting yourself in some life threatening opportunities in openings, and it's like he's having a blast. Like he loves it. You know what I mean? Like he's the one with the big smile on the battlefield, and it's just like, yo, this anime is going to be insane. It's tragic. We saw some really nasty scenes in the first two episodes. It's got comedy, it's got action, especially because it's not like, oh, he's going to be running around being elusive the entire time. Like, nope, he kills people. Like not Thorfinn level, but like he's gonna kill people, and when he gets better with a sword too, mix that elusiveness with some good slashes, and yeah, we're in for
Look
a treat.
out.
And like you said, with the artwork and the colorfulness, like we're talking about, like that scene that I think is just perfect when he gets pushed off the cliff and he's going down. He sees that little smirk,
Yes.
hits the ground, and then you see the elusiveness. You see the action, and it just looks so good. And then he runs up the hill and jumps up, and you see the big, beautiful, colorful wings that are on him, and it's just like, dude, this just looks good. The other two kids, warriors, dude, they look sick as well. They look so cool. I feel like those are gonna be some awesome characters. The girl seems really cool. She's like, oh, he's so cute. I just want to be his friend. But like at the same time, she's like a young Maki. You know what I mean, dude? She's got
Yeah,
that spear,
badass.
and she's gonna fuck people up. Like they went after like a high ranking like samurai, and they're kids, and they beat them. Like you know what I mean. And that other kid seems really cool as well. Like dude, it just seems like it's gonna be such a good anime in every aspect. The animation's great, the characters are great, the story it looks great, and then it's just gonna be fucking crazy. I can't wait.
I think if they do a good first season, it'll definitely blow up. Cause like, just to give like some context, like episode 2, you right away find out what happens to Tokiyuki's brother,
Hmm.
and like you get that flashback from episode 1 where like you see the ball come down off the roof, and instead of the ball coming, you just see a head drop, and that's it for the
Yeah,
whole episode. So like you don't know what happens, and then like when the uncle like turns around and his like face turns into a demon, it was like, oh yo, this is sick. And the episode's called The Gentle Uncle. So I'm like,
yeah,
damn, really well written. Like you brought up the dialogue, when he's like, yo, look at this kid, like he's blessed or whatever. Like this is the master you want to serve.
yeah.
He like the dialogue's really good. It's really well written. But then also like, all right, it's fucking Gojo's voice actor, the shaman dude. Of course, he's just a total dork. I swear to God, he sounds just like
The
Gojo.
girl's the
It's
girl's the best though that's with him because she's just like, oh well, he's real, but his blessings are bullshit. And she's like, you don't have to say that. Like, don't tell them.
yeah,
Don't tell them
she's
I'm
like
a
looking
scam
into the
artist
future, and she's
partially.
like, yeah, like your future sight is like a very rough image, and he's like trying to like think of it. He's like, like very like good comedic relief. Like it reminds me of Golden Kamui. Some of the like funny faces and like I don't know, at times like weird, creepy. He's like, yeah, well maybe I'll just kiss this sleeping boy on the cheek, and he's like, yo, what is wrong with you? Like shit like that. I feel like is always funny because then you're in like a couple minutes, yeah, they're cutting heads off and like teaming up on this old drunk psycho.
Yeah. But like that's the cool
Just
thing about like his brother too that I was saying is that like you didn't have to add that. You could have just had his brother be dead from the
yeah,
start, and they purposely went and had his brother. It makes you think, oh, his brother's gonna make it out too. Like that's gonna be awesome. Like thank God he's not gonna lose everybody. And it's like no, no, yeah, his uncle's gonna betray him, beat the hell out of him, like literally beat him half to death, and then decapitate him. You know what I mean? It's like you did not have to go there, and they went there, which means that I feel like in the second episode as well, it's just like yo, like they're gonna do some stuff in this season that we're not gonna be able to predict. And that's what I absolutely love. Like it's the one
hell
thing where
yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna show you this, but then we're gonna do that. You know what I mean? And it's just like having that surprise completely blew me away and makes me so much more excited because I have no idea where this is gonna go. I don't. You know what I mean? It's gonna be absolutely awesome. Going to the spot where you're talking about the dialogue with them fighting the uncle, that was so sick because the kids were struggling to fight this guy because they were worried about having to protect their master, the kid who's in line to become the next shogun. And he's like wait, like watch. And they're like, holy shit, like this kid's amazing. He's like, yeah, you don't need to protect him. You know what I mean? You need protection from him. Like there's no one
Yeah.
that's gonna land a hit on this kid. Like this kid is built different. So he's like, he's gonna create an opening, take it. You know what I mean? Like this kid is your asset, not your weakness. Like it's gonna be amazing because every person in this group is going to be a valuable asset, and it's gonna be so important. And I just think it looks sick. I think the characters are amazing. I think the story is unpredictable, and it's going to be really sick as well. The villain is going to be awesome. That badass beast of a warrior. You have the two
Super
opposites.
sick.
It's kind of like yin and yang, where he fights to live, but the other warrior fights to kill. You know what I mean? Like that kind of idea. Like, dude, like there's so much about this anime that is just so good, and it's all over the place. It has the moments where like you're just happy, like seeing that kid smile and just have the best time. And you know what I mean, you're like wow, this is a nice anime. And then it has the funny moments, but then it also has the badass fight scenes. It has the holy shit, I can't believe that person's dead. Like we got two deaths in two fucking episodes, baby. Like when they do that, I feel like it's everything's up for grabs. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen, and I love that unpredictability in animes. And I know I sound like a psycho because I'm like, yes, death. You know what I mean? Like for me, like once you do
Yeah.
that, like it takes an anime to another level because it's not going to hold back on things. And this showing that, yeah, I feel like this anime is going to be probably because of like the more originality to it. It's going to be my favorite. You know, over Wistoria, just because Wistoria reminds me a lot of Black Clover, and I feel like Wistoria being good is a given. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Wistoria has like it feels safe. Where I feel like the Elusive Samurai
Yeah.
isn't as safe. You know what I mean? They're kind of going more out with
100%.
it, and that's why no one's talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I have yet to see anybody say a single word about this anime. In 2 episodes, you're out about to be three.
Yeah, like Wistoria is a very tried and true kind of like formula or like whatever you want to call it, trope. Like
Yeah.
it's good, but it is tough to kind of like do what I feel like we've been set up for with Elusive Samurai. You really do have everything. I know it sounds like super general to say that, but like they've made obviously it's like super funny, like they're almost clowning around all the time, and then like the MC is like very boyish and like one thing I really like when he gets in fights, he doesn't get like angry or like buck up. He's just like starts giggling, he starts blushing.
Yeah.
Like it's different. Like
This
it's cool,
kid's
and if
giggling when 15 guys are trying to fucking kill him, like grown men.
it fits like his character and like the way he's built and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's like an 8-year-old boy, so like it fits
Mm-hmm.
perfectly. But and like if you see it, the scenes like it's very well represented, but you have everything. Like there's still that air of brutality. Like they go back in episode 2 to show you the uncle beating the shit out of Tokiyuki's brother and
Yeah.
then cutting his head off. Like it doesn't like cut to black. Like you see them lop his head off. Like that shit's sick. And you're definitely right. It takes an anime to another level when you know they have consequences, but also like you're not afraid to show that stuff too. Like it's always keeps like the watcher on their toes and like I feel like you get more attached to characters because you don't want them to die or like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, it just adds to it because, like, of course, we've been spoiling this entire time, so we're just gonna say, like him cutting off his uncle's head felt so much better because we saw what his uncle did to his older brother. That felt
And
5 times
and
better
you
because
wanted
we
him to
saw
die.
that.
He was a piece of
Oh
shit.
my
Like I wanted to
god, yeah.
see Tokiyuki kill him too. Like I didn't want this season about him, learning to or like kind of coming to grips with like having to kill people. Nah, he's like definitely with it. He is built different.
Yeah, so it's gonna be absolutely sick. I think that the anime has a lot going for it, like a lot. I'm so excited for it. I don't know what else to say. It's got to be like one of my favorites. I feel like it is just so cool. And like I said, it's a bit more unpredictable. It's a bit like on its own, and I just think it's like let's go. I feel like it's got to get more popular. I feel like the fact that it's been so slept on is more so from the season. I've said that in a couple of my videos I've been coming out with. I feel like this entire season slept on, so naturally every anime in it is gonna be low key and underrated. But this one is just shit. Like this is the anime season for it to come out on too. Because like if it was like last season, it would have been definitely hidden.
It would have got buried.
Yeah.
And like even now I haven't heard anything about it, same as you, but like I was trying to think like if something I could suggest, like if you liked this, then you would definitely like it. It reminded me of in a way Hell's Paradise, and people ate that up. Like they're not
Oh
story
yeah.
wise, they're not really similar, but like design, like you know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah,
like design and
I
like
feel like
yeah,
Thorfinn, Hell's Paradise, and Yona of the Dawn all combined. Because Yona of the Dawn is
Fiona of the
literally the
Dawn's a really
same premise, where someone's they're
yeah.
in line to be in power, someone betrays them, kills the whole family, and now they're off on their own. They need to survive and fight back to get Japan back. You know what I mean? And they're going to surround themselves with key warriors. But again, the big difference is that Yona, at least when I stopped, she wasn't fighting. It was just, I'm helpless. I need your help. Please help me. And they're compelled by blood. It's complicated to help her. But with him, it's like, oh, like we actually like really want to fight for this guy. Like this kid's got something else, and this kid's actually fighting too, and he's actively fighting. And they're not holding back because the person I think killed Yona's father, she had the opportunity to kill him, and she didn't. She had the knife, and she could have stabbed him in the throat, and instead she cut her own hair and freed herself. It's like, wait, what? Like stab that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the fact
I'm
that they
glad we
took,
don't like have to go through that. It definitely does not
yeah,
seem like that. And
well,
like not to like knock the show or anything, but like I don't know, Tokiyuki's got like a very good
mm,
vibe about him. Obviously he's like talented. He's like the fucking the shogunate in
yeah.
line, but I don't know. It was really well done. I definitely would like. I wouldn't even have to suggest it. I think if you watch those first two episodes, you'll be into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And not to knock you know the Dawn either, because like I haven't watched the full thing, so I can't like rate it or like judge it. But like
Yeah,
I felt like this has the missing pieces that didn't have, or at least where I was at, which I'm
yeah.
hyped about. Because it like I feel like that anime had a ton of potential. So like seeing this is just like, yo, this is what's up.
And Hell's Paradise blew up. I mean, Vinland Saga is really big, but Hell's Paradise blew up. I kind of felt like from nowhere, at least on my end. So I have confidence that Elusive Samurai will get huge. It would definitely will be my favorite of the season. I was just gonna say it's definitely gonna be my favorite of the season if it keeps going this way. Like, there's just so much promise there, and like I think other people will really enjoy it too. It'll blow up by the end of the season.
Dude, I think so and hope so. Like I think that like we're gonna have the
I
first
do
couple
too.
weeks here where like no one's really gonna be talking about any of the animes because again everyone's like, oh, the season sucks and they walked away and they're done. But then it's gonna be like, oh wait, there's stuff this season. Like after a couple weeks, and I feel like that's gonna be the one that's gonna help people gravitate towards. Talking about like Windbreaker, that's a sleeper that we talked about last season. We're just looking at it today where that has like 50,000 plus reviews now. It's something that towards the end of the middle towards the end of the season started really picking up in popularity. Now that that anime season's over, people are going back and now watching it like, oh, like what was this Windbreaker anime? You know what I mean? Oh, I heard about this. You know what I mean? And now it's starting to pick up. Where in the beginning it was definitely that sleeper that no one was talking about. Except us. Hey,
True.
some of us are just good at finding sleepers. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Hell yeah.
It's a God given gift, if you say.
Culture, if you will.
But I think the same thing's gonna happen with this anime, where it's like in the beginning of the season, it's just gonna be criminally slept on. No one's gonna talk about it, and then towards the end, people are like, "Oh shit!" Like this anime, kind
It's a
of.
banger.
It's gonna be like with Frieren. That was the same thing with Frieren, where everyone thought it was like such a stupid anime, but then they saw that scene with her against the one archdemon or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know Frieren hit like that." I feel like they're gonna see a couple scenes from this anime and be like, "Oh, like he decapitates somebody, like, oh, what are those sick moves?" Because like seeing him in that elusiveness, dude, that's gonna bring people towards the anime alone. Like those
Yeah,
scenes
definitely.
are gonna have their own fan base.
And I just feel like anything Cloverworks does is like apt to be enjoyed. Like it's very visually appealing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. Like just some of the like colors and scenes, and even the fucking goofball shaman. It'll take me a minute to remember their names because they're all like old school Japanese. They're tricky. But like even when he's like clowning around and like the like sun is behind him and he has this like holy light
Oh,
around
that's
him,
like
like those
blinding.
yeah, like it's like comedic relief in a way, but it's also like very well done. Like he still looks sick, even if he's a fucking fake Shinto shaman.
Bro, I was dying in that scene about his father before, like in episode one. Where like, oh, he's gonna be a pup like his father, and his dad just in the chair, like, yeah.
Really drooling. Yeah, he was like, oh, terrible look for my guy.
Bro, that came out of nowhere, and I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
It's
there was
so
like a lot
good.
of like like goofy, funny scenes out of nowhere, and then like with the ball turning into the fucking his brother's decapitated head. It was like, oh
But that
shit.
was his brothers.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. See, I thought that was so cool because, like, for a kid, like, because what happened is that, like, they were playing with the ball, they kicked in, like, oh, where did it go? And all of a sudden they look and the ball came down off the roof and landed on the ground. But then it, like, turns into a head, kind of showing the traumatic effect that has on a kid, where they're like, they instantly thought it was a ball. Like, that was looking from their point of view, where they saw a round shaped drop and, like, oh, it's the ball. And they're like, oh, that's a human head. Like, it took a minute for them to, like, adjust and realize like, oh, this is what the fuck's going on. And then episode ends, no episode begins, and that's where everything's on fire, blood everywhere, and everyone's dead. You know what I mean? Like literally, it was like that. So, dude, yeah, it's great anime, great anime.
can't wait for next week, dude. Definitely hype.
But Wistoria, dude, another one that was just, dude, this episode was really good, in my opinion. I
Super
loved
good.
it.
It like especially the further it went on, like once it got to the end, I was like dying for Will. It's like, bro, come on, somebody help my guy out
Bro,
here.
I was pissed because listen, I kind of like that teacher. You always gotta kind of respect the teacher that's against the main character. Because if we're talking about like the Harry Potter kind of, you know, similarities, what didn't Snape end up being like a good guy? Didn't Snape ended up being like loved? Maybe there's more to this guy that's hating on him than we know. You know what I mean? Maybe there's more to the story. I'm not gonna misjudge a character like that again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not fucking happening again. All right, there's more to this probably. All right. So, like, that's the thing that really pissed me off about that scene is that you're making that analogy. You're sitting there like, oh, yeah, when the dwarves or whoever it was, uprise and there was 10,000 of them, not even those 10,000 swords could take out just one mere, wizard. But I'm like, bro, like, you're fighting him when he has nothing. Like, he's an unarmed child. Like, are you getting off to this? Like, what are you doing? You're about to be one of the highest ranked wizards and you're fighting an unarmed child and you think you're cool for it. You think you're strong. You think you're proving a point. Like, give that man a sword and then see how strong you are. Then see how confident you are. And that's exactly what happened. And guess who got a little cut on their little cheek? Guess how
Dude, and
that worked out?
he took it so personally. You're exactly right. Like
Mm-hmm.
he really gives Will no shot because he knows he has no magic. Like in a way, it's always you can always like empathize or like appreciate a teacher that pushes you or somebody who like
Yeah.
challenges you, even if they're hard on you or tough love, whatever you want to call it. Compared to like Werkner, who is more of a buddy, more of like a parent figure, like helps him out, like
Like I said, you
does
need
like
both sides. You need the one that
yeah.
coddles and that helps and that supports, but then you need the one that's going to doubt you completely because they're the ones that are going to put you in positions that are really going to make you succeed. Like, sorry to interrupt, but like, he could have ended that fight. Like before, like Will got his sword, like he got fucked up. Like he could just been like, "Yep, that's the end. This is over, and you're expelled." But instead, he let him continue to fight. When he beat him and got that hit, he landed that one blow. He gave him the 5 credits. That is massive for him to graduate and to eventually move on. That's huge because that's the only way, the literal only way he was going to be able to get a credit in that class because he can't use magic. That's the class that he's failing and has 0 credits in, and now he has 5. Like that is arguably like he just did a massive favor for Will. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you have to
He
look
did.
past the mean demeanor. Like he did something amazing for Will that is going to be a defining point in his journey. But it's like yeah, you need both sides. You need the coddling. You also need the I'm gonna throw everything at you, trying to get you to quit.
Yeah, like I feel like we got a little bit more of his backstory, Edward,
Mm-hmm.
which made me like him a little bit more. Like obviously he's a very talented, like top level wizard, but he's not elite. You know what I mean? He's not amongst the best, but he
Well,
knows
not
what it
yet.
takes.
I don't know if you missed
Yeah,
that. They said that he's like the next person in line to eventually become one.
somebody I don't know who said it, but he was defeated before he made it or he made the top of the tower and then was defeated by somebody.
I might have missed that part. I heard that from the headmaster that he's next in line. Like he's the closest to
He's
being,
the closest, but
yeah,
somebody defeated him, which I'm assuming is
the girl.
Elfie. Is that what her name is? I don't know.
I
It's
don't
not
know
her real
names.
name.
I've watched like 30 new animes in the past like week and a half. So don't expect me to know names other than Will. Like that's
I
the
could do
only name
Will.
I'm gonna know at least for
Dude, I'm
now.
like tore up trying to remember like Tokiyuki's family and like the
Yeah.
shaman's name. Like I know the kids' names, but I can't remember any of the fucking
Dude,
other
next
players.
week I'm gonna have the names down, but this week, yeah, it's not happening.
Just gotta roll with it. But like it made me like Edward a lot more because like as a teacher, he knows like in a way like a coach. You know what I mean? I've won
Hmm.
a championship. I know what it takes to get there. Like those are usually good educators or good motivators like in real life. So like I don't want to knock Edward in a way, but like kind of like you said, he through a personal vendetta because he's fucking jealous of a kid asked for him to be expelled, although he does have merit because he can't pass these spellcraft credits.
Yeah.
Like he's not totally wrong. But then I like what the Grandmaster did. I looked the other way on Werkner, kind of like supplementing his credits. I'll let you do whatever you want. You put him to whatever test you want. Kind
Hmm.
of showed like good leadership on her. And he did honor his word. You know what I mean? He still gave him the credits, and he
Exactly.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, he was definitely very bitter about it, but he still did what he said he was going to do. But he was also arrogant too. He was like, "Well, I'm only going to use 2 spells." And as soon as Will gets his sword, he puts up a very good fight. And I think he did recognize that, but it was like, yeah, you were trying to flex, and you got flexed on by again like a student, a kid,
Yeah.
a boy.
And what's kind of interesting too that like don't really go into, but like they definitely like tease that and kind of like show like subtly, is that like I do think that Edward is a good guy because the good teacher that's on Will's side calls him Ed. They're good friends, like they're close friends. It seems like there's more there, and I don't think a good teacher like a good person like him would be friends with Edward like that if deep down Edward wasn't like a genuinely good person. He just has a belief where, this is a world where magic's everything. Like you got to imagine like what was drilled into his head when he was growing up, and to get to the point where he's at, the level of wizard he is.
Right.
That he was probably told and hammered in, like kind of like with Shinomiya, where it's like, hey, magic is everything. Only the strong, rise to the top. You need to become strong. This is all you need to focus on. Drill it in your head, obsess over it. And then he sees a kid who has no magic ability able to compete. Like, I can kind of see where he's kind of at there. I can kind of see where he's coming from. And again, I've seen it happen too many times where they make you try to hate that teacher, but that teacher's always a sleeper.
Yeah.
They're always somebody at the end of the series you're like, fuck, they're cool.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. That's a very good point. He wouldn't be friends with Werkner or even like work there. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they do foster like a good environment. But what makes me like Edward is kind of what you said. You have that like, good cop, bad cop, like tough love, and then like the nurturing teacher, which is good because you get it from both sides. And I think that does make somebody more well-rounded. And Will's not the most assertive or aggressive person. Like he definitely lets Shion take credit for what he did, then bully him in front of people and didn't say anything, which like Will's kind of humble in a sense, but like somebody like Edward, I think is good for Will in a way. Make a man out of him.
That's the crazy thing. So Shion's the redhead kid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in that whole thing. There's so much to talk about with this. So first of all, I was upset that those kids were still alive. They got smoked by that monster thing, got thrown into the wall,
that one
and there was
kid
blood
survive?
everywhere. There was blood.
I thought the one kid got killed.
Yeah, and like they both survived. I was like, dude, like I could have sworn one got killed, and that's why again I look for that stuff. I'm like, okay, he got slammed to the wall. There's blood everywhere. If he's dead, go to the anime. If he's alive, we gotta talk. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I'm definitely with
and
you.
of course, you get bitch slapped by a monster. You're half dead, and you're the one coming in and talking all this shit and hyping up, like, oh my god, Shion did it. The other thing, Shion's not even taking credit. It's his friends that won't shut the fuck up when they did nothing that entire fight.
Crazy, bro. Imagine getting blindsided, like knocked the fuck out. Your head is leaking, and then you go to school the next day and brag about your friend. Wow.
Yeah, like, oh my god, dude, Shion took that thing on, and it's like, dude, like, even Shion's not even like, but Shion's not like denying it, but he's also not like, oh yeah, like he's sitting and he's fuming, and I feel like Shion's gonna be a cool character. Again, I don't want to doubt the people that like are aggressive in the beginning, because I feel like he you can see where he's coming from. You can see like it kind of the nobility, the kind of snobbiness, the kind of like he shares the same ideals as the teacher, and it's kind of why they get along. It's kind of like the two pairings, the two teachers and the two students.
And he's from like a noble family, so he's got that like rich kid privilege. You know what I mean?
And he cares about strength. Like he just wants to be strong, and he's sitting there and he's angry because he's like, shit. Like it's not even that the kid had to save him, which I like. I like he's not mad that the kid had to save him. It's just how much stronger that kid was. Was that
without
just
magic?
Just threw him to the ground. Like it really humbled him in a way that like he's at the like anger stage of that. He's not at like the realization where he's like shit. Okay, well we got to work harder. I got to get stronger. But this kid's got something and I don't. I got to get there. You know what I mean? So I feel like Shion's gonna like really grow as a character throughout the series, and I think that's gonna be really cool, especially because he's in the cover art. So he's gonna be playing a bigger part.
Yeah, definitely. It reminds me of when Ishikawa saves like his partner in Kaiju. Like he's not mad that he got saved. He's just mad that he was weak enough to need that. And like I think he will come around, and he's obviously got talent compared to the other students because everybody respects him. So like him and Will would end up making a good duo together if he's got magic and Will doesn't. They would end up being nasty.
They'd be unbeatable together. They'd be insane.
Even if they clash, you know what I mean? Their personalities, butt heads and stuff. I think there's a lot there, and like I don't know. I feel like if you watched a couple episodes of Wistoria, you're like, oh, that's sick. Like that could be cool. This guy's cool. Like there's so many so many things we need to like get answers to. But I think their friendship or their dynamic or whatever you want to call it will end up being really good because Will's like a pretty passive guy. Like his personality would fit well with what Will doesn't bring to the table.
Exactly. Like I didn't even think about that, but if they end up like becoming friends, I would absolutely love that. I'm trying to think like from Black Clover, what would that relationship be compared? Like it would be it'd be like
I want to say Asta and Yuno.
No. It would be like Asta in the Flame Kid. In the Flame Kid Remember him?
Oh
I
shit,
forget his name. It
yeah.
would be just like that because like they butt heads
I
whenever they're
forgot
with each
about him.
other.
Holy
But then
shit.
he's like, oh, I respect this guy. I want to get strong. He's like, next time I see Asta, I want to be stronger. I want to beat him this time. I don't want to like need his help. It's like that. That's like the same relationship. That would be amazing. That would be sick. And not to mention, like we haven't even met two of the characters yet. The green haired and the blue haired kid. They're also in the
Yeah.
cover art. I think they're in the intro as the opening as well. And we haven't met them yet, so I'm like, imagine two more people being added to this dynamic. I feel like that's gonna be amazing. The girl's really cool too. I feel bad for her because she's in love with Will, but Will is chasing someone else. Like you lost already. Like I feel bad, but I think it's so funny that he needs her to open up his own locker.
Dude, oh my god, that was such a funny scene. And then she literally like totally bails him out and saves him.
Yeah. Well, dude, that was the scene where that. First of all, I love that cat. That was it Vermilion or whatever. Familiar.
Yeah.
Familiar. I think that looks really sick. But dude, that was an insane scene where like the cat's wobbling in with a trail of blood. She's like, did something happen to Will? Like, yeah. Do you see the fucking cat? Like, what do you think happened to the kid? Like,
It's cool they have that like that bond or that connection or whatever. Like Will's getting fucked up out there, but like the cat also like is hurting and taking damage.
I
Like I
think
don't
the
know if it
cat
was
got
like
hit in the beginning, and then it ran
or when
off.
he and then the one like explosion, yeah, you can see
Mhm.
like Will go flying. So I didn't even think of that. The cat got fucking sniped.
Yeah, like this dude is just is just on. So he didn't care. He's not like, hey, like get your cat away. The cat was
Yeah.
just like, just got hit in the crossfire. But it's gonna be really sick. I really hope. Dude, there's like so much I'd love to see. I said it in like my video I dropped today, about my three sleepers, where I really like the anime. Even if it is super like Black Clover and it continues to be like throughout the series, it has enough like different for me to still very much enjoy it and to just watch it and be like, oh, this is great. But I would love if they just do one thing or two that really differentiates from Black Clover, where it's like, yo, like you cannot compare them since they did this. That would be really cool. I don't know what it would be, but I trust them. They're doing a lot really well right now. So I would love to see how this anime plays out. I think that, Wistoria and the Elusive Samurai are just fucking awesome animes so
Hell
far
yeah.
this season. And
I'm
then you're gonna watch that third one too, possibly. And then you're gonna be like, yo, there's
definitely.
a nasty triple threat this season. For a season
Hell
that we
yeah.
think that we thought that nothing was gonna be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially and like we've said this 1,000 times on the pod, but like just the quality that's out there. There's a lot of good stuff, and like you might have to dig a little bit, but in a season like this where you don't have those major long running titles or big shonens coming out, like it's the perfect time for them to shine. And Wistoria has like a lot to offer. So hopefully people give it a chance and get into it. But I'm interested to see like 6, 7 episodes in, kind of like where we are, like yeah, meet some of the other players and see maybe I don't know, like the timeline, you know what I mean? Like post graduation, like what they get into or what Will's next steps are now that we know he's got enough credits.
I really like that it's school based because they even said that the next step is that higher level of education. I guess like college for like wizards. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I like the school atmosphere. I think that I like it better than the military atmosphere that Black Clover had. I feel like it's a bit more adaptable, and I feel like it fits Will better. And I feel like that's one of the things that helps differentiate between the two. And I feel like it's cool. It reminds you kind of like a little bit of Harry Potter-ish, a little bit of that Seven
yeah.
Spellblades anime that was out, and it's just like I like this. It's gonna go. It's gonna do well. And listen. None of these animes were confirmed for 12 episodes yet, boys. We have hope, a
That's
one in
true.
three
I always
chance
assume.
that we're gonna get a 24 episode out of one of these. All right, it could happen. All right, let's please
Yeah, hell yeah.
give us
I
more of
always
one of
assume.
them. So
So yeah, we could definitely use a gem this season.
dude, so many gems this season. I do, and then you're gonna have the fall season, which is gonna be absolutely fucking insane. The winter season, like we're set. Like I'm not gonna leave my room. I'm not. It's just
I know.
it's just I'm bunkered in. I'm bunkered in. Let's talk about Alya hides her feelings in Russian because
All
this
right.
is
So how did you feel about it? Because like I enjoyed the episode, but there were things in there that like I could see turning people off or
yeah.
on, depending on how you feel.
Duh.
You like that one?
No, I did not like that one. Not at all.
Lolicons.
Bro, so that's the thing where it's like I was like, "Yep, I jinxed it." I said that it could get bad, and then it got bad. There's aspects of it that I loved. aspects of it that I absolutely loved, and aspects that I despised. Where I'm like, "Ugh, dude, are we gonna like stop watching this
Fuck.
episode 2 or episode 3? Because like we ended up finding out. All right, we ended up finding out that the one girl is his sister. Now, one aspect I love about that is that like it's like okay, cool. It adds a very unique spin on this type of anime because usually you don't have that. Usually you don't have that sister that involved. And I love the sibling kind of interactions where like in the very beginning he goes to
Yeah.
the storage room and he's like in there talking. She's like, "What? Like no pleasantries? Not like, oh, have you been here long?" And he's like, have you been waiting long? And she's like, no, I haven't. And then Alya's like, what the fuck are you two doing? You know, like, that's like
I'm like,
such a
yeah.
sibling thing, that mocking. You know what I mean? Like I do that all the time with my sister, and she
Yes.
gets so pissed off. Like, stop with that fucking voice. Like, does this upset you? You don't like it? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
It's like interactions like that are so good, and you love how like the sister is like shipping them, like she's putting them in situations like to be together and to hang out. At the same time, she's fucking burning that shit to the ground. She's like, I'm gonna put Alya through a trial by fire. You know, she's gonna have to
Literally,
survive
yeah.
to make it out. You know, like yeah, literally with the hot sauce.
Yeah, the
Yo,
spicy ramen. That's no
but
joke.
like those interactions I really enjoy, and I think that's gonna be really good because that solves the problem where it's like, okay, it's not gonna be a harem then. You know what I mean? It adds that interesting aspect that we didn't see coming where it's like the funny sibling interactions, you know, her kind of like messing with Alya big time, but at the same time helping them out by putting them together. But then you have the fucking weird stuff with the sister where she's jumping in the bed with him and she's doing and saying
Yeah.
weird shit, and it's like, why do you
Yeah.
have to add that aspect? Like, you were doing so well, you know what I mean? Like, and he's a fucking idiot. Like, bro, when she said that she was in your bed and Alya's freaking out, like you couldn't just be like, we're related. Like, it's not like that. You just let it go on. You know, you don't say a
And
single word. It's not
I don't
important or
know why they
anything.
haven't like why they hide that relationship. Maybe like professionally for
Hmm.
school, I could get that in a way. But like Alia would not give a fuck. If anything, she would be relieved. Not that he knows that, but like, I mean, I feel like everybody kind of knows at this point. But
Well, I think there's also more to it because he's living alone. He's not living with his family, like his sister is. So I think there's.
and he's yeah, and he's also known Alia for like almost 2 years. They've been
Mhm.
sitting next to each other a year and a half. So like, you just be like, yeah, I'm bullshitting. Like that's my sister or whatever. It would definitely make this come off way better than yeah, however he reacted to it.
Yeah, like he didn't react to it. He's just like, okay, I'm just not gonna acknowledge this. It's like, bro, like you idiot. So like there is gonna be stuff there that kind of like. It's like I just brought up, like he's not living with his family. It's like what's going on with that? You know what I mean? Like why is he not with them? Like why is it a secret? You know that they're related in school. So like
Some more definitely backstory.
yeah, so there's gonna be more to that. But like I said, I just hate that aspect of the siblings where it's like, bro, like why? Why do you have to make it fucking weird? And I'm like, if you're gonna continue with that, I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna be like, but hey, credit to her sister. She fucking proved me right when she was talking about the manga, and she's like, they're talking about the trope, and they're like she's like, oh, like the brother kissed the heroine, and she's like, oh, well, they're probably step related. Like, no, they're blood related. It's the best when they're blood related. Like, I fucking told you guys, the fucking otakus and all the other people that are real into that shit, they get upset when the word stepsisters in the title because they want them to be blood related. They're like,
And she literally
confirmed
calls
it.
it Wincest. Wincest.
Yeah,
It's just
like,
like, yo, oh my
did I say that like
god.
last podcast episode too, where I was like, oh, like that anime Days with My Stepsister seems pretty good, but I'm like, everyone's gonna hate it because it has the word stepsister in it because everyone's upset that they're not related, and it actually could make sense for a possible relationship. They want it to be blood because they're fucking into weird shit. Like, you need to be on a
Super
list.
weird.
You shouldn't be arrested, but you need to be on a watch list. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but like the fact that she confirmed that, like, I fell out of my bed. I was like, thank you, you confirmed it for me. I'm definitely gonna bring this up.
Yeah.
I have proof now. You're even
Hell
joking
yeah.
about it. Bro, I'm getting
And
heated. I'm getting heated.
she's so funny, dude. The Wincest comment was mad funny. And like her humor's good, but like for me, like the whole fan service thing, like
That was a
you
weird turn.
it's like it's funny and lighthearted and like it's watching them explore the dynamic of Alya and Kuze's relationship, which is cool, right? Like we're along for the ride. But then like there's certain ways for me you can do it without being like an actual pervert. Like Frieren had mad scenes with like her feet, or like she would joke about like being butt naked or something. Like it was kind of funny and like yeah, it's harmless, you know what I mean? well, like, Alya's undressing and like you could tastefully do that without like having the undershot. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, easy here, folks. Like this is like what people are bitching about. Like, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
not if you're a lolicon, but like, I don't know. It
Again,
gives it a
you should
bad
be on
name
a
and like
watch list.
should be on a list. It's just that it's not that kind of anime, or it wasn't. That story doesn't give that off, but I guess people got to get their fan service one way or another.
Yeah, like that's like the thing where it's just like this anime had so many great moments, but then they're also ruined by stuff like that. Because like one of the scenes I was around that was when she was super embarrassed because she wore like the skirt that was a little too short, and she's like, oh, I want to die, and she's like screaming in Russian. That little moment was fucking priceless. Where his sister was like, "What is she saying?" He's like, "She wants to like die in a hole." like the fact that
Yeah,
he admits now that he understands Russian. You know what I mean? He said it out loud. Where she's like, "Hey, you speak Russian? What's she saying?" And she's like, "She's dying inside." Like I just love that little interaction. I thought it was perfect. But like it's like that anime, that episode had so many things going for it, so many things that made you laugh, that you ended up loving. When you went out to like to eat together and like all this other stuff. But it's just like then it had certain things where it's like it ruins it, but at the same time it's anime. Like you see that everywhere. You don't want to, and it's like, why do you guys have to do that? You like, people don't like it. People are gonna say stuff in the comments. That's why they got rid of the comments. And it's
yeah,
just
true.
like that's probably why they're probably like, hey, let us do what we want to do. And it's like, bro, like stop. Like I feel like if you got rid of that scene, you got rid of the two scenes from her sister, from his sister, it would have been like a 10 out of 10 episode because it just
Yeah, it
had
would be
so many
much
other
better.
phenomenal moments.
And like I can watch that stuff and like it doesn't necessarily bother me. I mean, it would impact the quality of the show for me, but I'm not like, repulsed by it or like, oh, this is fucking horrible. But like there's better ways you could do it. Like I know what you're saying. I know what you're doing here. And
Yeah.
like even like her getting on top of her brother. All right, whatever.
No, I
The
was
fact
not a
that she
fan of
had
that. I was like,
and she has to make a comment and is like, "Oh, are you getting a stiffy?" It's like, do we have
dude,
to go here?
like
Do
yeah,
we have to do that?
I was cringing the whole time. That was like the one spot I was like, I think I'm gonna turn this off. Like
Yeah, I was like,
genuinely,
ooh.
if we weren't talking about it like for the episode, and like I know you like different animes.
Yeah.
Don't want to like out you here, but I was like
But
Blake would
even
sit
like,
through this, so that's why I continued. But if we weren't going to talk about it, it wasn't for like the podcast. That's exactly where I would have stopped it. Like genuinely, like that's that moment right there. I would have stopped watching, and I would have just dropped the
I
anime.
mine would have I definitely would have dropped it. Like it's not that bad. I kind of enjoy it. I want to see where it goes. Like you said, I can watch something 3 to 5 episodes regardless of how
Yeah,
bad it is. But like the dressing room scene, that was like we didn't have to do that. That was like
yeah.
so fucking far. And like whatever, it's fan service, but like I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
like
It was
like
great.
there's a chance, and like we don't know because like we say like, oh, it came out of nowhere, but like there were signs of it because we even said like, oh, the cover
Yeah,
looks like it's gonna be one of those etchy harem animes, and we're like, we hope it's not like that. Then there's that scene with the sock, and in the first
the sock
episode,
scene. When we
so
seen panties in episode 1, I'm like, all right, yeah, I know the vibe
well,
here.
bro's reaching for paradise. Like,
Yeah, the promised land.
yeah, the promised land. It's like there's ways, like I don't know. It depends on how much they lean into it. If they
Yeah,
start to really lean into it and ramp it up as the anime progresses, it's getting dropped pretty goddamn quick.
yeah.
If they tame it a little bit, it could be much better. Because I'm pretty sure there's more girls on the cover, which means this could become more of a dumpster fire as it progresses. But like I said, there's
Yeah.
aspects to it where like you really want it to not be that. It's kind of like I feel like what I feel like this anime is. I feel like they took a really good romance anime that would have been really really good. That was like a horror Mia style anime, and they're like, let's add etchiness to it. Like let's turn it into that other type of romance anime because like again you have that great female main character. Right, you have the great relationship between her and the guy, like the great interactions. You have the sister being added in for comic relief. She's making it so funny. She's helping them, but at the same time, she's torturing Alya. It's just so great. But then you just add in those little unnecessary scenes where it's like you're trying to turn it into something that no one wants it to be, or at least most people don't want it to be. And it's like, please stop. You know what I mean? Like it could be so good.
Yeah, and for me, like, I'm definitely with you. Depending on how much they lean into the like etchiness and depending on what some of these scenes are, um, will determine if I stick with it. But like, you could tastefully do shit like that and not like go overboard. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I mean, as somebody who watched a painful amount of Rent a Girlfriend, I could put up with a lot. But
Dude, I'm
yeah,
not even gonna shame
hopefully,
you for Rent a Girlfriend. It's more so the girlfriend.
yeah, that
That
was
one I feel like was just like I haven't seen Rent a Girlfriend. I've seen Girlfriend. I dropped that shit so quick. That one was painful. The fact that you like sat through that and you're like, yo, it's pretty good. I'm like he's got a pain tolerance. Like he's gonna sit through
yeah, I
quite a
definitely do.
bit.
I should look at like the shit I've watched on Crunchyroll and like some of the rom coms. It's like, yo, what are you watching, dude? Or like, yeah, that's a story for another day. Never mind.
What you said.
You know, you look back and it was like, oh, I don't remember watching this. Like, what? What? The only one on the account though must have been in the mood, I guess.
The realizations you have when you
Yeah,
when you
sometimes you
open your
see it.
Crunchyroll during the day, you're like, what the fuck was I looking at?
Oh man, okay, all right, Blake, I see you.
You start watching again. Oh,
Hopefully,
that's
no
why I
one else
watched
does.
it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
exactly. Cafe
accidentally give someone
Terrace.
access to your Crunchyroll, and they're like, Blake, what the fuck are you watching?
I actually gave it to my ex girlfriend, and she was like, "I'm like, oh yeah, you can watch Fairy Tale or whatever," and she was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I forget. It was Rent a Girlfriend, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, phenomenal show, very good stuff. She was like, "Yeah, what like Dragon Maid? What the fuck are you watching?" I'm like, I don't have the time to explain it
I
to
feel like I'm
you.
gonna see the cover and be like, what the fuck? All right, let's see it.
There's a
Dragon
fight
Maid.
scene. I'll text it to you in Discord. There's a fight scene that is definitely worth watching. But yeah, there's
It's taking
definitely some
forever to
goofy
load.
shit.
Oh, it's 4.8. It seems like it might be good. Wait. Okay. Okay. I don't think we're gonna be watching that. Watching that.
What is
You
it?
know what? I gotta be careful when you give anime recommendations. It's gonna be. I gotta be
Yeah, you
careful.
do. I like to throw a dark one in there every now and again. Yeah. Oh, well, whoops. Oh, you didn't like that?
Don't know how that didn't, don't know how that got in there.
Whoops. Hey, we've made some progress on the idol front, so I know the algorithm's working.
Oh my god, yeah, Blake's slowly but surely just corrupting me. I'm learning new lingo. I learned about tsundere and yandere. I forget the other two, and I don't know what tsundere or yandere is. I know I like yandere though. That's all I know.
It's just like, yeah, that vibe, the energy that they're bringing. I feel you.
Yeah, and
Good stuff.
then Blake's gonna be he's like yeah these idols like check out these shorts, and then all of a sudden my shorts feeds them, and I'm just fucking sitting there watching, and I'm like, oh shit, like I recognize that one. It's like you're like it's
Dude,
working.
once you like casually brought up, I don't know if it was like Narissa or Shiori or whatever. I'm like, oh, we're on a first name basis. Like, I
Oh
got you.
no, it was
Ah, yeah.
who was it? Mori.
Or yeah, I forget who it was, but I'm like, oh, we're using names now. I got you. It's working. It's working.
Oh, bro, it's just all going downhill. It's like in 2 years, I'm gonna just be a full blown fucking degenerate. I'm gonna be me and you are like, yeah, dude, fucking rent a girlfriend.
Hell yeah. Then my work here is done.
Then you
I
have
remember
graduated.
like the very first stream I watched like of a Hollow Live talent was when Elden Ring came out. I'm
Yeah.
watching the same one play the DLC. I'm like, damn, it's literally been years we've been in this fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Just like hit me. I'm like, oh shit.
that's the thing that's like crazy though. Like catches you off guard. Like some of the stuff is just like so entertaining. Like how they're like so insanely good singers, but then they're fucking amazing content creators on top of that. It's like, what don't you do? It's like
Yeah, and they're
superhuman.
like funny. They're hysterical. It's like,
Yeah.
damn,
Like
they're
that's
talented.
it just popped up. Like I said, you sent me the shorts, so it popped up my feed, and that's when I just saw the Mori shorts, and then you see her with who was it, Kobo?
Yeah,
Uh,
her and Kobo are funny.
like those were hilarious. Like I forget it was like the one where it was like I think they were like together, and Kobo was like where's like Daddy, where's my dinner? He's like in the microwave. He's like
Yeah.
screaming it down. Oh, dude, like that shit was just so funny. I was just like, dude, like I don't know, it's just a shock. And then like you just like keep going down the rabbit hole of degeneracy, and it's like then I'm gonna move on to like the Japanese ones, and it's just like, it's,
That's when you're too far gone. That
well,
was
I'm still tame right now. I barely know the yandere tsundere stuff. I don't even know what it's called still. I just know those two. and I haven't listened to the music yet. All I'm watching is idle shorts, and only one of them, right? So I'm still very much in the green. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Seed is planted though. The seed is planted.
Yeah, but you can always rip it out. You know what I mean? You know what I
Very
mean?
true. Yeah, very well
It
spoken.
didn't take root yet. You know, the
Yeah.
weed didn't spread. So we got time. We got time.
Don't do it. I got how many plushies under my TV? Don't do it, brother. It's a
Unbelievable,
lie.
man.
Do it.
But yeah, dude, it's been a phenomenal start to the season, in my opinion. Definitely, like we started the season like looking at it, being like, oh wow, there's like nothing here. Like I even in that video I dropped, I shamed the people that were in charge of like marketing or whatever. It's like you guys did a fucking awful job getting these names out there. Like it could have been so
Yeah.
easy. Like Wistoria, how did I not hear about Wistoria? That level of animation, you're not showing anybody that. There's no hype leading up to the season. The Elusive Samurai, like that has a sick name with it that piques interest in itself. And then like the animation, some of the action scenes, it's just like that could have easily grabbed people and been like, oh, we have animes to watch. But instead, there was no word of
Yeah.
anything. I think that was the biggest problem from the season is the marketing and advertisement. It was just awful because like we were talking about Windbreaker. It was like, oh yeah, we were on that before episode one even dropped. It's because I saw it like on YouTube, but it's like it was being pushed, it was being shown, it was being hyped up, which is how you grab onto it. Like, okay, well, let's check episode one. You know what I mean? Like, would we have watched it if we didn't see it before the anime season? You know what I mean? Would that be
Maybe
something we
not week to
found?
week, because I wouldn't have found it. Yeah. You would,
Yeah.
or like you wouldn't have enjoyed it week to week, which I think there is something special about watching something week to week versus just binging it, or you might not fall into it as much as you would.
Well, not even that. I think we wouldn't have found it until week three, until all the shorts of
Yeah.
Tachibana and Sakura came out. Because that is easy to grab anybody in. Those interactions were sick. And it's just like, that's how we would have found it. And it's just like, yeah, it's just much better coming into it knowing that, oh, we're going to have this anime. Let's check it out. And then be able to ride that bandwagon since day one. It just feels so much better. Yeah, you're attached to it more.
Yeah. I will say, like, I know promo and marketing and advertising take money. Um, but people, when asked to do work, if it was like, all right, I got to go find a couple good anime, if you're not really like that hardcore or whatever, people aren't going to like seek it out. But if you show somebody 2 or 3 really sick new animes, chances are they're going to like get into them. So I definitely agree with you. I feel like it's more on Crunchyroll or whoever like advertises, trying to get this into people's hands or on their social medias or whatever. Like, I'm sure that's tough, but I'm just glad we
I mean,
found it.
I'm thankful. I'm actually, don't get me wrong, I'm actually stoked it happened this way because it's been fucking easy for me because I'm, again, the degenerate that sits there on the release calendar, like, every day just checking out, okay, what's coming out? What looks good? You know what I mean? Just having the open mind to be like, hey, like, let's just try something out. You never know you're gonna
Very
like it.
true.
And then you sit there, find these animes that aren't being talked about and making videos, be like, hey, look at all this. I made 2 videos right at the start of the season just being like, hey guys, like check out some of these animes, and they've done like well. You know what I mean? And it's like pulling in subscribers, and it's like, hey, I'm doing your job for you. I appreciate it. I'll do it for the
Hell
fall
yeah.
season too. I'll do it for the fucking fall season too. Because that's like the fun part is like finding these animes and like putting in that work, that work of, just
Yeah,
watching
if you could
anime.
call it that.
But then recommending it to people and like getting that reaction where it's just like, damn, dude, I checked out that anime. It was so sick. I'm loving it. I'm loving this. I'm loving that. Like, that's so, like, being able to, like, bring a new anime to somebody and having them fucking fall in love with it is almost better than falling in love with the anime itself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like giving a gift,
Definitely.
and they just love the gift. It's so much better than getting the gift. You know what I mean? So, having this anime season be such a sleeper and being able to, like, show everybody all this anime and being the advertising, be like, hey guys, like check this stuff out. Like some of this stuff's like really good and like really laying it out and showing it to people. It's been really nice. It's been really cool and yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's been sick. So
Definitely.
if they want to hire me, to advertise some of these animes, to kind of like make a little list, I'm open.
Hell yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, if you could call it work, but just from some of the comments I've seen, like it's really nice that people are like, A, like listening to some of the recommendations we've had, but they've also panned out and we've gotten some really good stuff and we, haven't had to like look too hard for good anime. There's been a lot of really good stuff out, so we're having fun and I'm glad everybody else is enjoying the new stuff out there too.
Yeah, and there's so much. I mean, there is like
Yeah.
such an abundance now. Like it's absolutely insane how like it's. I don't think we'll ever be starved on anime again. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that will ever be a problem. And I don't know if it was ever a problem before. You know what I mean? I'm new to the Game Boys. I have an addiction. Don't get me wrong. I'm hooked, but like I'm still kind of new. So like it's been insane. I'm really excited about it, and I think that's it. You got anything else you wanna say?
I'm excited, man. Just keep the train rolling, and we'll see if we keep Alya. I feel like we'll know by next week if it's getting too etchy or not.
Bro, I really want it to be good. I have a
I
feeling
do
though.
too.
I have a feeling though it's gonna get worse.
Dude, that
Episode
one
one
shot,
was fine. Episode one was fine
I can
enough,
do that.
but then episode two was just like,
There's too much horny
brother.
there. That was too much.
Like I don't know if I'm a bitch and I just feel too awkward too soon, and that kind of is it. Like there's a lot of animes where I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Like sorry, it just feel way too weird.
You
But
just know like what the vibe's gonna be. You know what I mean? We'll see
yeah,
though. I'll
we'll have
hold out
faith.
hope.
Well, yeah, we'll have faith. We'll have faith. But that's it, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying. Hey, let us know in the comments down below. What are you watching? What are you enjoying this season? There is plenty. There is plenty. So hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you're gonna have a great week. And that is it. Peace.
Peace.